what seems to be hacked across all of Facebook. I even went to go verify on my own Facebook, and yes, I was logged out. Now, I've seen a lot of different people saying, do not log in right now. This is a massive hack and you don't want your information exposed. But it's definitely scary to see how vulnerable social media sites like Facebook are nowadays. And don't even think about going to Instagram. As you know, Instagram and Facebook are owned by the same company. And
What's up, Seekers? Welcome back to the channel, man. How you guys doing? Hopefully you guys are doing all right. You guys already know what we do here, man. If you don't, and if you're brand new, we break down scary and creepy videos, man, on the net, on the web, from YouTube videos to TikTok videos to IG reels, anything weird, usual, unexplained, you can find right here on this channel. Just want to say, clap it up for the Seekers, man. Crossed 1,000 subscribers. I greatly appreciate that, man. Let's continue to grow. You guys, we're just seeking the truth, and you guys are topping in, so I appreciate that. Let's check out this video for you guys today, man.
Being an animal so vile and wild, not only did you traumatize a researcher, everything he learned about you had to be hidden from the public for almost 100 years. That's what happened to George Murray Levick. He was on an expedition in 1911 when he ran into a group of Adelie penguins. It was the largest colony on Earth, and since nobody had ever spent a whole breeding cycle there, George decided to be first. Oh, he f***ed around, and he spent 3 months finding out. What he found out was Adelie penguins are 50 shades of foul play. No pun intended, maybe. He watched the male penguins attempt to mate with literally anything, including other males, injured females, and even unsupervised penguin chicks. Nah, but what really messed him up was watching a male score with a past tense past expiration date female. Apparently penguins aren't above self-service, because he also witnessed one male getting on with an extra curvy piece of snowdrift. To completion. He was so appalled, he referred to them as hooligan cocks. And remember, this was 1911. That had to be some kind of slur. George quickly realized that if male penguins understand consent, they could not care less about it, because he reportedly watched one female that was too injured to walk try to crawl away, only for 2 hooligans to catch up to her and demoralize both her and George. I don't even know why he did this, because like, what more do you have to prove? But at one point he did an experiment where he took the frozen decapitated head of a penguin and put it on a pile of snow just to see how low the flightless felons could go. The answer was low enough. George put every messed up thing he learned in a manuscript, and the British Museum of Natural History decided history was exactly what his studies would be when they vaulted it, until it was rediscovered almost 100 years later in 2012. All that trauma, and he didn't even live to see it get published. But the worst part, these are Adelie penguins. Yep, it all adds up in the end.
Nearly 58 years.
That's insane, Seekers, bro. Like I said, we learn a new stuff every day watching these videos. I guess, bro, they just try to hop on anything, bro. They do not care, bro. It's in nature as well, man. It's freaking crazy, bro. And the Adelie penguins are penguins of the Madagascar, bro. That's a freaking childhood blown, bro. I'm telling you, man, bro. When we learning these facts, bro, be exposing our reality, bro. That's why our Seekers, man, we gotta be staying tuned in. We seeking the truth out here, man.
Years later, police solved the cold case murder of a 9-year-old Hazleton girl. On March the 18th, 1964, Maurice Chivarella left her home to go to school. She was described as a quiet, sweet girl, and she wanted to be a nun when she grew up. Witnesses reported last seeing her at 8:10 a.m., and this is the last time they would see this little girl alive. Heartbreakingly, at around 1 p.m., her body was discovered in a coal pit. The autopsy showed that she had been SA'd and then killed. She'd been dumped in the pit along with some of her belongings. This case went cold until 2007, when DNA was collected using fluid that had been left on the victim's jacket. Disappointingly, at the time, the DNA returned no matches. In 2019, though, thanks to advances in technology, the DNA profile was uploaded to a genealogical database. Finally, the DNA had a match. Shockingly, it was found to be a very distant relative, possibly a 6th cousin. In 2020, researchers managed to get most of the victim's family to cooperate and give DNA samples. The investigation found that James Fort was the suspect. He was 22 at the time of the little girl's killing. Now, he actually died in 1980 due to natural causes. However, his body was exhumed to confirm whether he was responsible for her murder. On February the 3rd, the test confirmed that his DNA was a match. This is the oldest cold case in Pennsylvania to be solved using genetic genealogy.
It's crazy, bro. See, because the thing technology can do. Like I said, it's good and evil.
Iqbal, who is also known as Kukri, and is one of Pakistan's worst serial killers of all time. Not much is known about his early life, but he was the 6th child of a well-off trader. He started his own business in 1978 while he was still attending college. At some point, his father had purchased 2 villas and allowed him to set up a steel recasting business inside of one of them. In December of 1999, he sent a very disturbing letter to police and local newspapers, confessing to the murders of 100 boys between the ages of 6 and 16. In his letters, he claimed that there were runaways and orphans that were living on the streets. He went into gruesome detail that he strangled them, dismembered them, dissolved them in acid, and then disposed of the remains in the river. When police searched his home, it was a blood-stained mess. They recovered the chain that he used to strangle the boys, as well as 2 vats of acid that still had bodies in them. He said in his letter that he planned to drown himself in the river, but after police combed the entire thing, they never found him. He actually ended up turning himself into the newspaper instead of the police, fearing that they would kill him. They also recovered a diary that went into grisly detail of each of his murders. He also had 3 teenage accomplices which were also arrested. Despite his confession, in court he claimed that he was innocent and the whole thing was an elaborate hoax. Over 100 witnesses showed up to the court case to testify against him and his accomplices. The judge sentenced Iqbal to die by strangulation, be dismembered into 100 pieces, and dissolved in acid, under the legal concept, an eye for an eye. Although the judge sentenced him to be executed this way, it would go against the Islamic teaching of respect for the body of the deceased. On October 8, 2001, Iqbal and his accomplice Saeed were found dead in their prison cell. They apparently ended their own lives by hanging themselves with their bed sheets, but it is speculated that they were maybe murdered.
See, cause that was a damn freaking gruesome case, bro. The head that he like written that down, he had like, bro, imagine doing those freaking heinous acts, bro. He just writing it down. Thoughts in his diary after the deed was freaking done, bro. Then how you gonna get into court and just say it was a hoax? See, cause man, like I said, people like that are dangerous, bro. I ain't trying to take accountability, man, as far as freaking actions, bro. They tried to have him do the same thing what he did to his freaking victims. They tried to do to him, man. Like I said, it was an eye for an eye. Seekers, what do you guys think about that case? What is that? Edit. I'm gonna have to call that one out. What's this polar bear doing?
So there's 2 types of people. The ones that see this polar bear hyping himself up before taking a cold plunge the way we all have at one point. We've all done this. And then the ones that say it's zoochosis. And I'm not about to plant my flag one way or another, but I am going to tell you the story of Gus. Zoochosis is what can happen to an animal in captivity without proper enrichment. Eventually they develop psychosis, and one of the biggest tells is doing the same thing over and over all day, every single day. Now this is Gus. Gus was a polar bear who lived in a Central Park Zoo for 25 years. Eventually people noticed Gus swimming in the same exact figure 8 direction every day for sometimes up to 12 hours straight. So what did a zoo do? Well, other than spend $25,000 in therapy that amounts to a guy pretty much saying, that's crazy. It really be like that. Gus became the first zoo animal to ever be put on Prozac. Yeah, and they got him a jacuzzi too. Eventually the figure 8 slowed down, but they never completely stopped. Also, y'all wanna see something crazy? I'm gonna just go ahead and get this out the way. Damn. But yeah, apparently I saw Gus as a kid and didn't realize it until years later. I'm glad I did, because he passed away in 2013 after his partners Ida and Lily, and since then Central Park retired polar bears and replaced them with grizzlies. This isn't an anti-zoo video. I think zoos come with a lot of good and a lot of bad. It's just that in this case the bad led to a chronically pilled out polar bear.
This vol-
It's freaking crazy, bro. Freaking infected wildlife too, man. Like I said, he was the first freaking polar bear to be put on Prozac, bro. I guess because, like I said, you know, they're freaking wild animal seekers. They're not meant to be in captivity, bro. I guess it just gets to them, bro, mentally, bro. You never know, bro. Like I said, seekers, man, watching these videos with you guys, man, it expands my knowledge base. That's why I'm thankful for you guys, bro.
Volunteer at a church tried to sell a teenager on the dark web. This is Kelly Garrett Ivy from Central Georgia. And last June is when these crimes occurred. So Kelly was a part of a dark web website called Slave Bay. The website on the dark web sold slaves themselves, or people that had been abducted into slavery. And the website also sold personal information of people. Basically, if people had information about where a vulnerable young man or woman lived, yes, even children were up for grabs. They would attempt to sell the information about places they frequented, what times they were usually alone, and obviously stuff like their phone number and home address. Well, at some point, Kelly, while attending the church that he volunteered at, came across a 16-year-old girl that he befriended. Just to talk about this website one more time, this is just one of the more disturbing corners of the dark web. The dark web is a place where anything can be purchased. CP, CSAM, different things like narcotics, and apparently even slaves and humans. So I don't know exactly how investigators tracked Kelly down or discovered that he was the one that was trying to sell a 16-year-old girl on the internet. But they eventually did. They got their arrest warrant, they took him in, and he's been in prison since. That's because, thankfully, they denied his bond, so he's had to sit in prison until his hearing. And based on the charges that this guy has stacked against him, hopefully he'll be in there for a very, very long time.
So this photo...
It's freaking crazy, bro. Like I said, the things that freaking dark web, things on there, bro. If you ever... Seekers don't even venture that freaking far into the freaking web. You don't even want to go on and see the things that they have on there, bro. There are rumors about it, stuff like that. I don't know how people can even like go on that side of the internet. That's way too deep, bro, for me. That's something I completely stay away from, Seekers. If I had you guys to do the same.
Was the reason you shouldn't put your feet up on the dashboard of a car. In 2007, Granny Keeley had an airbag deployed on her at 120 miles an hour. She was sitting passenger with her feet up on the dash, and when the airbag went off, her knees went right into her skull. Obviously, this led to a brain injury. Her 2 front teeth also fell out, but she lived, thankfully. She lived without a forehead for about 2 years until surgeons fitted a ceramic forehead into her skull. She had near constant headaches, and she developed gallstones because of the medication she was on. After they fitted a ceramic plate into her forehead, they injected fat from her stomach into it so it could look more natural. This is her today, so she looks very normal now. And of course, because she's in good spirit, she says her ceramic forehead is designer because it was made in Italy. She also spent a considerable amount of time educating people on why they shouldn't put their feet up on the dashboard. Because if you do, you can end up like this. And you might not be so lucky. So, if you get anything from this video, stop putting your feet up on the dash. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. And as always, these videos are for informational and entertainment purposes only.
Seekers, bro. What do you guys think, man? I put my feet up on the dash sometimes, you know, driving, or my brother stuff driving, just put it on the dash. You don't think too much about it. That has me freaking rethinking my choices. I don't think I will be doing that anymore, bro. Guys saw my freaking like skull, like they said half of this it's going there to get replaced, bro. It's like, see, cause it's the little things that you don't think something like that freaking bad or something can happen, bro. And it will happen, man. See, cause how many of you guys have your freaking feet up on the freaking dashboards when y'all driving or somebody else is driving with y'all, man? I know that, like I said, I used to do that all the time. Now that I think about it, my grandparents, they used to say, like, don't put your feet on the dash and stuff like that. So maybe they were trying to warn me, bro, about stuff about happening, man. At it.
Okay, everyone needs to hear about this because it's actually wild. This is what was advertised and this is what people turned up to. An immersive Wonka experience based on the film was advertised using AI-generated images in Glasgow, Scotland, and promised to be a journey filled with wondrous creations and enchanting surprises at every turn. I mean, I don't even know what part of the movie this is, but this was one of their enchanting surprises. They even just slapped one of their AI-generated images on the wall. The organizers said the experience would last between 45 minutes and an hour, but it actually took visitors once they arrived only 5 minutes to walk through the entire thing. And I don't even know what the hell those Oompa Loompas are cooking up, but it doesn't look legal. Eventually, the police had to be called halfway through its first day after furious families who paid £35 per person, and some drove hours to get there, started demanding refunds. I mean, I don't know if it's just me, but why do I really want to go?
The dad who had...
What the... That Walker experience, bro. I saw the freaking Shindig, man, but I didn't even freaking believe it, bro. I'm telling you, man, like I said, these things with AI, bro, the things with technology, Seekers, bro, like, it's getting way too advanced, bro, nowadays, bro. They freaking scamming, bro. Like, that those pictures they had, it made it seem like it was gonna be like a freaking experience. but it was all just a mirage and cover, bro. And then when they actually got there, they got freaking catfish, bro. It's like that freaking. You guys know that SpongeBob episode where in the Krabby Land, bro, and Mr. Krabs. You know, it had to be that fake, park with the kids and crap. It was just like that episode, bro. I know you all secrets. You guys know what I'm talking about, man.
Had the sleepover for his 12-year-old daughter, and despite the smoothies, there's been new details released. So the girl who managed to get away and get help for the rest of the girls says that they all knew something was going on and they all were scared. He would do things like come into the room and separate them. She said she would hug up to one girl who was scared while the other girl was just passed out. And he would come in and he would separate them. So I guess they were asleep, but they were still like hugged up. And she texted this to the family member who did come and get her. She said he keeps moving us and my other friend won't wake up. She woke up for 2 seconds but did not open her eyes. When the family member came to get her, the girl was approached by this man who slurred his words and seemed drunk, but he didn't stop her from leaving. And they then went to her house to wake up her parents, and her parents went to his house, which he didn't want to open the doors, and got the other girls and took them to their parents. Now, when they made it home to their parents, one girl's mom says she had to be carried in because she was completely out of it, and the other girl's mom says she had to have help getting into the house because she couldn't walk on her own. So when they get everybody to the hospital, one girl says she don't remember nothing. She had completely blacked out, and the other girl was still slurring her words and felt woozy. Now, his wife at the time is Japanese. She didn't speak good English. He's the one that conducted everything. I don't know if the wife is the mother of his daughter who he did the sleepover for, but it says that that's the reason why he conducted everything, because she didn't speak that good of English, but now they're divorced. I can only imagine what would have happened had they not got themselves out of that situation.
Secrets, bro. That's how you gotta be freaking vigilant, man. Say you never freaking know, bro. There was a freaking just an innocent sleepover, man. He's trying to freaking drug freaking girls and stuff, bro. Putting some of these smoothies so they can freaking black out. Thankfully, nothing happened, man. But you don't know what his freaking intentions were, bro. That one girl, she knew, and it was a ripple effect, bro. And she got everybody freaking out of there, bro. Secrets, you gotta beware, bro. I guess what people be trying to put in your drinks and stuff, man. If you're out, cover your drink, and if you don't, bro, just leave it, get a new one, but don't drink it, man. Trust me, bro. You just saw what happened.
Log into Facebook right now. So this is happening right now, but there's been a massive, what seems to be hack across all of Facebook. I even went to go verify on my own Facebook, and yes, I was logged out. Now, I've seen a lot of different people saying, do not log in right now. This is a massive hack, and you don't want your information exposed. But it's definitely scary to see how vulnerable social media sites like Facebook are nowadays. And don't even think about going to Instagram. As you know, Instagram and Facebook are owned by the same company. And I went to go check on my own Instagram, and yes, it couldn't load any of my posts, so Instagram seems to be down as well. All you have to do is go to the website Down Detector, and you can see that there's been a massive spike of error reports at Facebook in the last hour. And in the comment section on that website, thousands of people from across the world are saying they don't have access to Facebook. Now, I'm not trying to say here that you can't live life without Facebook, obviously. I'm trying to say that this is dangerous. I mean, there's so much personal information that a person has on Facebook or social media networks like this today. And if hackers really did manage to get into the mainframe of Facebook, who knows what they took or why they took it or why they're hacking. So yeah, I guess I'll post an update when we find out more about this, but I would just stay as far away from those two websites as you can right now.
Secrets, bro. That freaking outage happened, bro. I remember it was freaking trending all day, bro. People were going crazy, like, what the heck's happening? Like, Facebook ain't, Instagram is down, bro. But like what he said was spitting his facts, bro. It's like, bro, there's a lot of personal information on it, so I don't know if it was a hack or something, man. People, all the probably personal information, man, probably just got swiped, taken, bro. That's why it's best not to try to put everything on social media, because you never know what can happen. And when it was down, it was like people, they didn't know how to freaking function, bro. That's the scary part, bro. When it's like when the freaking internet, when Facebook and Instagram is down, bro, people run into Twitter like, what the heck's going on? It's like, bro, people, they couldn't freaking, minds couldn't function, man, when they couldn't go on those two freaking social media sites. That's very concerning, Secrets. lights blinking in and out.
5 years ago, this MIT student created a device that allows you to have the entire internet in your head. But today, he's nowhere to be found. A year before Elon Musk's Neuralink was even founded, Arnav Kapoor was building a non-invasive wearable device that essentially acts as a Google search for your brain. In an interview he did with 60 Minutes, for example, he was asked what's the largest city in Bulgaria and what's its population. He then proceeds to silently ask the computer, and then here's the answer through vibrations transmitted through his skull and into his inner ear.
Sophia, 1.21 million? That is correct.
This device went on to be a sensation. He was invited to do a TED Talk, dozens of interviews, and it even won awards at MIT. But the strange part is that despite this happening 5 years ago, and arguably the fastest 5 years of growth for AI tech, the alter ego device, or Arnav, are nowhere to be found. He has not been active on Twitter, Instagram, or LinkedIn, and the most recent interview I could find was about a month ago, but it doesn't include any information about where he or his device is now. However, in the meantime, Neuralink has been FDA approved, successfully implanted into the first human patient, and they are now able to control a computer mouse with their thoughts. I reached out to him via email asking why his device hasn't progressed, but no reply yet. So the question is, would you rather a device that's removable but can be seen, or one that's invisible but is implanted into your brain?
This happens.
Seekers, what do you guys think, bro? That's very, very freaking fishy, bro. Two products similar coming out at the same time. Well, no, his was like way before the Neuralink by Elon's, and he just like dropped off of the face of the earth, bro. Why does that always happen, man? We've seen that in a couple of videos, Seekers, bro. It's like somebody comes up with a freaking idea or something like that that can like change the world or something. Or maybe it's too dangerous and he just like disappeared off the face of the earth, bro. Seekers, man. I need you guys' thoughts on that one, bro. Do you guys think that he just disappeared by himself? Something happened, something went down, bro. I told him to stop.
This year, you're not even gonna believe this, bro. This girl, I think she just graduated college. Out of college, she was gonna be working at Microsoft soon.
Yeah, it's crazy,
right? So her life was looking hella good. She ends up taking a trip with one of her homegirls to Germany. So they go to Germany and they're just going out there, you know, just as tourists and just to see what's good with everything. This guy, random German dude that's out there, dude's like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I mean, I know like everywhere out here, you know what I mean? Like if you guys want to see like a cool spot, and they're like, oh, okay, like let's go see what's good with it. He takes the girls to this like bridge, right? And they're just like kind of looking at the stuff, everything like that. While they're all just chilling, looking at the site, he tries to SA the girl, the 21-year-old, because it's her and her friend. Her friend's 22. Her homegirl is like grabbing the and like hitting him and trying to stop him and stuff. He's getting so frustrated, like she's not letting me do it. He throws both of these girls off the bridge, a 615-foot cliff, bro. And I'm telling you right now, bro, the craziest shit.
So it's now been confirmed that Madeline's mother's boyfriend had been assaulting Madeline for 2 years since she was the age of 11. And again, I'm not here to attack the mother or accuse her of any crime. I don't know. Again, like I said before, I do feel that something about her is off, her behavior is suspicious. There, as a person who unfortunately experienced abuse as a child, there are always indicators. It is extremely unlikely that this had been going on for 2 years and the mother is absolutely clueless. There are indicators of how the child behaves when the person who assaults is present or anything like that. So again, this further makes it look like the mother is hiding something, or that something was brought to her attention and was ignored, or something like that. It's just giving that this is something's off. I still believe very strongly that the mother is hiding something that she knows, and I believe that it's about to come out. I believe that they are investigating and it is going to be revealed because they're going to leave no stone unturned.
What do you guys think about that, bro? Mother didn't know for 2 years? Like I said, there would have been signs.
This guy is one of the worst pedophiles in world history, and this video is really gonna piss you off. So this is Sun Jung-woo. He's from South Korea. And yes, his identity has been purposefully concealed by the South Korean government. So when Sun Jung-woo was captured in 2018, he was running one of the largest pedophile websites in the world. The website was called Welcome to Video. At the time that the website was shut down, it had 1.2 million pedophile members around the world. Authorities also estimated there were 360,000 downloads of CP or CSAM material from this website. Authorities also estimated that about 46% of the stuff they saw on that website they had never seen before, meaning that this guy and all of his pedophile buddies were producing this stuff exclusively. So while he ran this website, 220,000 downloads of CP and CSAM were made. And Sun Jung-woo became rich. He made over $300,000 on this disgusting stuff. But after he was tried and convicted, he was sentenced to an extremely long sentence of a little over 2 years in prison. 2 years. 220,000 CP and CSAM downloads. A pedophile website with 1.2 million members, 2.5 almost years. He was also sentenced to another 1.5 years for some other charges, and ultimately his final sentencing added 24 months to his prison sentence because he was money laundering. So that means that this guy got less than 10 years in prison for running a pedophile website with 1.2 million members. Plus, the government has gone out of their way to protect this pedophile's identity. I mean, I literally have no words after reading about this case. I cannot believe that this is actually our reality. There are people in America serving such longer charges for drug-related crimes than this hardcore pedophile is. Oh yeah, and the United States tried to have him extradited to the US so he could face charges here and spend a significantly longer amount of time in prison, but the South Korean government denied it.
This young man...
No way, bro. That's what people be saying. What people be saying when they say the justice system, man, like how it needs to be fixed, bro. How the hell they did all those freaking heinous acts, man? Only got less than 10 years in jail, bro. And you were trying to freaking extradite him, bro, so he could serve more time. But the South Korean government, they denied it? What's that about, bro? They said he was doing money laundering too, so I wonder what freaking connection stuff did he have because of the money laundering stuff? Because they say he was making money off that as well, bro. What the hell, Seekers? Something going on with that freaking government. Something has to be corrupt, bro. That case, it's a corrupt case, bro. Seekers, what do you guys think about that?
Man was folded and stuck in a chimney, and this is one of the worst deaths imaginable. Explained. On May 8th, 2008 in Colorado, 18-year-old Joshua Maddox. On this day, he went for a walk, and walking through the woods was one of his favorite things to do. Except this time, he would sadly never come home, and nobody would ever see him alive again. The family filed a missing persons report, but given that he was 18 and a very adventurous person, they thought it was highly possible that he could have just picked up all of his things and moved. But it would have been very out of character for him to just leave and not say anything to his family. Fast forward 7 years later to August 2015. A property manager named Chuck Murphy was beginning the demolishing process of some cabins, and they have been abandoned for at least a decade. They were in the process of demolishing a chimney in one of the cabins, and they would find something truly disturbing that they never would have expected. Inside the chimney was a mummified human body. Dental records would then confirm that it was sadly the body of Joshua Maddox. The cabin was only a mile or two from where he lived, but this is where the story gets extremely weird. Josh was naked from the waist down and had a thin thermal shirt on, but absolutely nothing else. He was found upside down in a fetal position. His legs were above his head, and he was virtually folded in half. Based on the position he was in, they speculated that he had to go in from the top of the chimney head first. But why in the hell would anybody go into a chimney head first? Also, the chimney had a wire mesh top. Now, it was already demolished by the time they discovered the body, but the contractor swears it was there. So, how in the world did Josh get in from the top? Also, his clothes, the rest of them, were folded very neatly inside of the cabin next to the chimney. suggesting that he was already in the cabin, so what was his cause of death? They can't say for sure, but he had no physical trauma to his body at all. The coroner also said that he was likely in the chimney in that position for at least a couple of days. Completely alive, and he would have either died from dehydration, which could have taken up to a week, or possibly, but likely, hypothermia, which could have taken a couple of days. Another theory, witnesses claim they saw him with a man named Andrew Newman before his disappearance and a man who is now in prison for murder. But how would one person get Josh halfway up a chimney? Again, there was no physical trauma at all, and why was he half naked? This case is absolutely mind-blowing, and what the hell happened to Joshua Maddox?
Secrets, bro. What the hell happened to him, man? Like I said, like, if he came in top first through the chimney, but how the hell did he get, like I said, from the top down? And this, he was just stuck in that position, bro, for freaking days, man. It took him that long for them people to find him, bro, because he was in the chimney. I guess nobody was checking, bro. It's a weird case, Seekers. Very weird case. Guys, Seekers, man, if you guys stay with me to the end of the video, you're a true seeker, man, seeking the truth. I appreciate you. I appreciate your support, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that post notification bell, guys. I'm also Seekers. Follow me on my social medias as well, man. Trying to get my numbers up on there so you guys can connect. You guys can expand. We can find fellow Seekers, bro, on there as well. I'm just really trying to build a community of all of us together, man. So let's do that. Once again, man, thank you guys for getting me to 1,000 subscribers, guys. We're grinding. We're going to keep going, man. I appreciate you guys getting me to that mark, bro. We're really building a community, and I appreciate you guys, especially you guys who's been there in the beginning, commenting on every video. I see you guys. You guys can catch in the next one, man. Peace, Seekers. What's up, Seekers? Welcome back to the channel. If you guys are brand new here and if you don't know what we do here, man, we break down scary and creepy videos, man, on the net, on the web, from YouTube videos to IG videos to TikTok reels, anything weird, usual, unexplained, you can find right here on this channel, Seekers, man. I just want to thank you guys who's been tapping in with us, summing up to the channel. I really appreciate that, man. Like I said, you guys are seeking the truth. That's what brought you here. Found this video for you guys today, man. Let's check it out, Seekers.
Harmony Montgomery. Harmony was 5 years old. Harmony will never be 6. Because of this creature that she knew was her own father. And this story is one of the most disgusting things I've ever heard. In December of 2019, Harmony was in the backseat riding with that man when she became incontinent because she's special needs and it's something that just happened. She couldn't help it. And what he did in response was he reached in the back at a red light and beat her severely, so bad that she died. Then he went and got Burger King and ate it in the car with his own daughter's corpse. Stored her body in a cooler at his house for months until March of 2020 when he ended up moving her to a location that we just don't know about. And she wasn't even reported as missing until December of 2021. I don't know how somebody else didn't report her missing within that 2-year time period, but that's what happened. Father has been charged with murder, child abuse, abuse of a corpse, and falsifying evidence. Father pled guilty to abuse of a corpse and falsifying evidence, but he blames the stepmother for the murder. The stepmother is currently doing 18 months for hindering a murder investigation. And in my opinion, both of these animals need to burn.
Things that are scarier at night.
Insane.
Corn mazes.
They never bother me. I feel happy and fine. Living in the sunlight, loving in the moonlight, having a wonderful time.
Playgrounds.
I don't need a lot. Coffee's only a dime. Living in the sunlight, loving in the moonlight, having a wonderful time.
It's scientifically proven that one of the best ways to see how a guy's mind works, to really get those neurons firing, ask him what's the biggest animal he can beat in a fight, and I promise you'll expeditiously find out what type of man you're dealing with. They even did a survey. Quite a lot to unpack here. Off rip, my eyes immediately drawn to the 8% of people that think they could slapbox a lion and live. I've seen lions take down buffalo over 1,000 pounds, but Buddy thinks because he benches 2 plates he could murk Mufasa. Then you got the 6% that believe they could beat a bear, no, a grizzly bear, in a fist fight. Ignoring the fact that if that paw tells you to keep his wife's name out your mouth, you're getting erased from the population. Just look at this. This is why women have a longer shelf life than men. The irrational confidence of thinking you can have any say in the outcome of this situation is wild. And then you got the 17% that think they can fight a chimp. Let me tell you, not only would a chimp beat you like a dirty rug with one hand, a chimp would literally beat you with one hand. As in rip your right arm off and beat you with it. Nah, but the most interesting thing here is the 28% of people that would apparently get folded by Stuart Little. That's more than a quarter of people not confident in their abilities against a rodent. The human mind is an interesting place, the more you know.
This teacher is accused.
Seekers, man, y'all got saw that list, bro. It goes to show you, man, how far some people's minds is, man. They think they can really beat a bear or a lion in a slap ball fights or something like that, man. You saw the footage between those two bears? I don't think they making it out of that one, bro. That's not something I would even try to, man. I'm trying to choose the one that is to go to maybe cause the least amount of damage, bro. I'm just trying to be realistic, Seekers. Out of all that list, bro, what Seekers, what do you guys think you could take on, man? Bear, lion, Stuart Little? I need to know.
Accused of adding a student on Snapchat and sending him something shocking. You won't believe what happened next. Ricky Lynn Lachlan is a 24-year-old teacher from Missouri. Police received a tip-off about an alleged inappropriate relationship between the teacher and a student. The student was just 16 years old, and Ricky allegedly sent extremely inappropriate videos and pictures of herself to the child. It's alleged that the behavior then escalated to another level. She is accused of inviting the child to her home while her husband was away, but the child declined. The boy in question was interviewed by police and apparently stated that the teacher had added him on Snapchat. She then allegedly sent nude photos and videos to him. The boy told police that she requested photos back and he obliged. He stated that Ricky had warned him that she could go to prison for the actions, so to delete any photos and videos he had of her. Ricky claims that it was the student that began the conversation and that she had not been aware that he was a minor. Police seized her phone and found a video on there that matched the description of the video that the child had described. Ricky has since been arrested and charged with 6 felony S crimes.
What do we going through these freaking people's heads or minds and they be doing acts like that, bro? And then they try to freaking cover it up, man, saying she didn't know that he was a freaking minor. Like, what the heck? You're a teacher. How could you not have known that? Seekers, man. The things people would do, bro, just so they won't face consequences for their action, man. Always amazes me, bro. Do something, man, there's gonna be a consequence to it, bro. You can't avoid that, Seekers. You can't. Where is this guy? Was those just edits? Was those real? Scandal. It's like burning himself. freaking possession kid, man. He got some, like, he was like freaking speaking a freaking different language or something, man. That's my first time seeing, I guess, possession, man, live on freaking tape, bro. See, cause was that legit, or do you guys think that was an edit, bro? I think it was legit, man. You saw the weight, and then he put the freaking, he had his chin, cross on his head. He put it on his head. It's chilling, bro. And that Skinwalker, man, I don't know what the hell he was doing, bro. Some weird things on the end of that secret. That's why maybe we gotta seek the truth, bro.
Autopsies, Part 2. In this series, I'll be breaking down famous celebrity autopsy reports, so this is a massive trigger warning. Today, we are going to be talking about Kurt Cobain, who was the lead singer of Nirvana. Kurt Cobain was outspoken about his struggles with mental health and addiction, often including it into his songs, but he also struggled with health issues. He was affected by chronic bronchitis and debilitating stomach pains. On March 31st, 1994, he fled from a rehab facility after just 3 days and took a cab to a gun shop in Seattle where, according to the receipt, he purchased shotgun shells, and on April 8th, an electrician who was meant to install security lighting found what he believed to be a sleeping Kurt Cobain in a studio attached to his house. But upon closer inspection, he saw blood coming from his ears. Sadly, Kurt Cobain was dead at just 27. His external exam revealed numerous needle puncture marks, with associating bruising and an entrance wound in the front roof of his mouth. It's accompanied by several lacerations, some with tissue hanging. The lacerations are likely a result of gases leaving the barrel with strong force. The internal exam revealed that the path of the bullet was upwards, front to back and slightly left to right. His skull sustained several fractures, meaning broken in multiple places in several regions. His brain was transected by the bullet, meaning severed. The lack of blood on scene is due to the fact that the entrance wound was inside of his mouth and the bullet settled in his head, meaning there was no exit wound. Rest in peace to Kurt Cobain, you will always be missed.
The true story.
Seekers, man, you never know, man, what these freaking people be going through, man. Like I said, people think celebrities and stuff have this great life, man, but behind the scenes, they're real people too with struggles, man. I think it just goes to show you how famous stuff it's not the answer, it's not the key to true happiness, bro. That's something, man, we gotta all search for ourselves, man. Just expanding our mind, seekers, bro.
The story behind this mugshot is absolutely disturbing. This is 54-year-old Stanton Lee Pierce, and in 2017, he was sentenced to 40 years in prison for burning a body. So Stanton had been in and out of prison in the past, but in 2016, he got mixed up in a murder. These were the 3 people that were implicated in this murder scheme. There was 37-year-old Rebecca Bond, pictured over here, who actually shot and killed the 62-year-old victim, Louise Martinez. Then there was 56-year-old Lori Stone Perry and Stanton Pierce, and these 2 were convicted of moving the body. 62-year-old Luis Martinez had been missing for a while, and eventually investigators located his burned prize vehicle out in the middle of nowhere. And when I say out in the middle of nowhere, his burned car was really way out in the middle of nowhere in the woods. Obviously, they knew something had happened to Louise, but they didn't know exactly what had happened. Well, Louise's body was eventually found also burned in a local cemetery, and from that point on, investigators knew that they were looking at a hardcore murder. Eventually, through investigation, investigators were able to determine that Stanton Pierce had helped clean up the crime scene and had helped move the body to that cemetery. He had collected shell casings after the victim was shot and killed, he had removed bullets from a wall that had gotten lodged in there, and he had even cleaned up blood from the surrounding area. And to finish the story out, Stanton Pierce was sentenced to 40 years in prison. He's going to be over 90 years old when he's finally released.
Man, that looked like, I said, his freaking face, it looked like he was a burnt victim or something as well. I don't know if he got that from what he was doing and stuff, but bro, it's just a freaking bone-chilling crime, man. He would have like burnt a freaking body with no freaking remorse. And all the other freaking was like, they were seeing those 2 other people that got freaking implicated, man. It was like a freaking, I don't know if it was planned or something, man. I think it was, but whew. Goes to show you, bro, man. People, bro, you never know, man, what they're truly capable of, seekers. That's why you always got to be aware. Anybody can do something to anybody, bro. Is this an edit?
The differences between male and female serial killers. Males typically kill for sexual gratification, whether that's psychological or physical, and their victim's identity matters less. They typically kill strangers. In contrast, 90% of female serial killers know their victims, and they tend to kill for practical or justifiable reasons, at least in their minds, with the most common motivation being financial gain.
Great. So the difference between male and I guess female, they just do it just for that gratification, and they said females do it for money, for like monetary purposes. She said they did a study on them, man. Secrets, bro. I'm going to dive deep into that study, bro. I guess to truly, find out the difference between those two type of persons, people. I want to say explore secrets. What do you guys think, bro? So I dive deeper into that, man. I think I might have to on that one, so we can get a true answer.
Breaking news, a 12-year-old boy has passed away in less than 24 hours after arriving at a camp for troubled teens. On February 2nd, the 12-year-old boy arrived at North Carolina Wilderness Camp for troubled adolescents. The following morning, on February 3rd, around 8 a.m., staff members discovered that the child was not breathing. Camp counselors immediately performed CPR on the child and called emergency services. When EMS arrived, they said it appeared the child had been deceased for some time. Officials said that the day before he had, quote, been transported per parents by 2 men from New York. The 12-year-old had been assigned to a cabin with other students and 4 staff members. Authorities also added that the, quote, death appeared to be suspicious as he arrived at the camp less than 24 hours prior. An autopsy was performed earlier in the week, and a forensic pathologist said that the boy's death, quote, appeared to not be natural, but the manner and cause of death is still pending. Authorities said they executed search warrants for 2 of the areas of the Trails Carolina and are continuing their investigation. Furthermore, they said that the camp has not fully cooperated. However, Trails Carolina disputed that statement and issued a statement on Thursday through a public relations firm. They said the sheriff's office does not present an accurate account of the facts and they have, quote, fully cooperated. At this time, the child has not been publicly named, and because it does involve a minor, authorities have not provided any further details. To stay up to date on this case, make sure you click the playlist below. I'll keep you guys updated. What do you think? Drop in the comments.
Oscar Pistorius.
That one's a freaking confusing freaking case, bro. It's like there's so many freaking factors, man. The people who just like messages just dropped them off and left, and how did that happen? Like within 24 hours, man, a freaking kid lost his life after going to that camp. It seems like it was a setup or something, man. Maybe somebody on our staff or something, I don't know. Speaking a part of that, but it's freaking scary, bro, man. You send a freaking kid to that camp so he can, I guess, learn to, behave better, and freaking lost his life, bro. It's like, well, there's nowhere in the world, bro, where anybody's safe, bro. Seekers. What do you guys think about that case? Is there more to the story?
Pistorius claimed that he accidentally killed his girlfriend, believing she was an intruder. Let's look at what actually happened. Riva was a South African 29-year-old model and paralegal. Riva was dating her boyfriend of 3 months, Oscar Pistorius, who was a Paralympic athlete. At around 6 p.m. on February the 13th, Riva made her way to his house in South Africa. In the early hours of Valentine's Day 2013, Oscar shot her 4 times through a locked bathroom door. This included a fatal shot to her head. He then broke down the bathroom door with a bat and called police. Oscar claimed that he thought she was an intruder. He claimed he was hot in the night and wanted to get a fan to cool him down. While doing this, he heard a noise in the bathroom that he assumed was an intruder. He said he grabbed his gun and shouted to Riva to call police. He claimed that he did not notice that she wasn't actually in bed next to him. However, neighbors reported hearing a couple arguing at around 2 a.m. They also heard a woman screaming at around 3 a.m. when the shooting took place. Texts between the pair are also very telling. Riva sent him this text after they'd attended a party together. Now you can pause to read, but I am just going to read out some bits that I think are very significant. She said, "You have picked on me incessantly since you got back from Cape Town, and I understand that you are sick, but it's nasty." She also includes a bit that he was accusing her of flirting, and shockingly she says, "I am scared of you sometimes and how you snap at me and how you will react to me." Heartbreakingly, at the end of the message she states, "I just want to love and be loved." After Riva's death, Oscar's ex, Samantha Taylor, came forward. She claimed that he would get angry at her for little things like not bringing her plate into the kitchen. He would also be jealous and possessive. In 2014, he was found guilty of culpable homicide. He was only sentenced to 5 years in prison. However, in December 2015, the Supreme Court overruled this verdict. He was then convicted of murder and sentenced to 6 years in prison. This was then extended to 13 years.
Freaking case, bro. Like the freaking signs and crap were all freaking, especially in the freaking text messages, bro. That probably sealed his freaking fate. All the stuff he was doing to her, bro, like saying he was jealous and possessive, man, over little things as well. But to see, man, how people will go so far, man, just over little things, bro. Like, he realized freaking just took her life because like, of an argument, bro. And because he was jealous, he thought she was flirting with somebody. Secrets, man. You always got to know who you're dealing with, bro. If they show signs of stuff, man, even if it's like little things, bro, you always got to take note of that. Because it can turn into something bigger, bro. Seekers, be aware. So that tentacle got a freaking cracking, bro? Is this an edit? Or this could be legit? Seekers, y'all seen this, right? You guys know we haven't explored like the whole freaking ocean, bro. So there's always a possibility. You can't rule it out.
Ooh-wee, I'm about to piss a certain demographic off, and I'm honestly okay with that. We can all agree that one of the worst forms of media today is a guy or girl with a microphone, too much time on their hands, and no real friends to bully them out of bad life choices. I'm talking podcasts, and the worst version of that is by anyone who calls himself an alpha male. Fun little fact, cute even. When the term alpha male was first used academically in 1921, they weren't talking about wolves, lions, or even humans. Ain't no way. They was talking about chickens, bruh. Apparently, anthropologist Monica Sumrup was studying the hierarchy of chickens when she first used the term, which is also where the term pecking order came from, because higher-ranking chickens will bully, press, stress, and peck lower-status poultry. And when describing the chicken social ladder, they gave the top chicken the first letter of the Greek alphabet, alpha. To add insult to injury, they might not have even been talking about roosters. They were talking about some alpha hens. Alpha wolves in the wild don't exist, and the guy that came up with it spent the rest of his career trying to take it back. Despite what your personal biases might tell you, it's the lionesses that run a pride. But this whole time, alpha males were just taking cues from a pretentious piece of poultry. Moral of the story, you might not be an alpha male, but you are definitely the top cock. The more you know.
I cannot be the only...
So, man, if you call yourself saying, bro, I'm the alpha, man, I'm the top alpha, I'm the top dog, where you basically you call yourself a chicken? Like, bro, Seekers, man, when I watch these videos, bro, like, I'm always saying that, always speaking, expanding my freaking knowledge base, bro. I never knew the word alpha freaking, it was used as a term for a freaking chicken. That's where it came from. I thought it came from, you know, wolves and stuff, because they said I'm an alpha male with wolves and stuff. That's where I thought it, I guess, came from. It came from when you actually achieve, basically call yourself a chicken. Although all these speaking alpha males, I'll think now, bro, if they really knew, I guess, the origins about the word. Seekers. That's why I'm at. Hey, bro, tap in with our community, bro. You're gonna learn new stuff, man, with us every single day.
One who hasn't heard about the 10-year-old girl that is facing first-degree intentional homicide charges for stomping on a 6-month-old baby boy's head at a daycare center, y'all. What? Oh my God. Leave a like on this video, follow for more true crime, and check this one out.
A 10-year-old Chippewa Falls girl is facing charges of first-degree intentional homicide in the death of a 6-month-old boy on October 30th.
Injuries sustained by the 6-month boy was not an accident.
This heartbroken father says he can't forgive the 10-year-old girl now accused of stomping on his baby's head.
As opposed to seeing it as a 10-year-old girl, I seen it as the person who killed my son. And she, in my opinion, deserves to be in shackles or handcuffs. She's a criminal.
An imprint of her shoe was found on Jackson's head.
He's having a hard time breathing and his head is falling.
Jackson fought for his life for 2 days but succumbed to his injuries.
Now the girl's mother is sharing personal photos and videos.
What's up, guys? Today's my first YouTube video.
Do you think she's been
Sympathy?
painted as a monster?
Yes, I do.
Is she?
No, she's not. She is beautiful, intelligent, smart, loves to sing, loves to play.
Today in this video, we're gonna be playing hide and seek.
She's been locked up for 9 months. This video shows her getting a ride from her father during a visit at a detention facility. She's smiling, but as Dad puts her down, you can see shackles around her ankles. The girl's family says she suffers from mental illness, and they tried to get her help, but were turned away.
They denied my daughter because she wasn't 12 years old.
She was trying to kill herself.
She had indentations, yes.
And you couldn't get her help.
I could not. They sent her home because apparently I had an age limit.
That story, man, is freaking heartbreaking, bro. Like, what the hell? Also, the father of the freaking child said, yeah, he can't forgive her. Then the mom put out those videos and stuff, I guess, to paint, I guess her daughter, she was innocent, she likes to play and stuff, but I'm probably gonna have to dive deep into that, man. They said that she turned away because she wasn't 12. They said that she had problems, or the mom said she had problems. If you can notice that in freaking kids and stuff right away, bro, it's just best to deal with it because you never know. That could lead to some male seekers, and the worst possible outcome could happen, and it did. Had it?
I cried 7 days a week. 7! When I was 18, I was told I would never have children by a doctor. I thank God he gave me the gift of Ashley. You have no right to take her from me. This is what's left of my daughter. If I want a hug, I have to hug a box and close my eyes and pretend that she is hugging me back. Do you remember texting me? I would never, never do anything to hurt her. I swear on my life. Ashley is my ride and die. Do you remember that? Do you? Ashley was already dead. And discovered when you text that to me. I am left with nothing but voicemails and videos that I play over and over just to hear her voice, just to hear her laugh.
You heard the freaking pain in her voice.
What?
Literally him.
Holy crap.
He's a child welfare specialist.
He works for the Oklahoma Department of Human Services.
It literally says report suspected child abuse.
Wow.
The park ranger being a child welfare specialist is worst case scenario. We entrust these people to take care of our society's most vulnerable, and instead he's taking advantage of them and he's exploiting them.
Hello?
Hi, Major Flowers. In the context of Oklahoma, what does a child welfare specialist do?
They're the ones that like Child Protective Services. They're the ones that remove kids out of homes that are being abused and beaten and sexually abused and neglected. They're the ones that put the kids in state custody. In Oklahoma, that's what CPS is. It's Oklahoma Department of Human Services.
Okay.
He's around kids all the time. They're supposed to be there to protect kids.
It's like the worst job he could have. Yeah. I will not breathe easily until he's in custody. I'm proud of the team, I'm proud of the work that we do, but none of that matters until he's in custody.
Who?
And freaking weed him out, bro. You heard that freaking phone call, man? Like how freaking people in power, bro. It goes to show you, man. You can't always put people in positions in that freaking power because, bro, there will be people who will abuse that, bro, and try to take advantage of that freaking system, man, because they think they're above it all because they got the freaking power, bro. Found out that they had to catch him like that, bro. So the whole freaking team and break it down and tears crying because that's what the kids. he has access to all those freaking kids, bro. That's just actually insane, Seekers. You always gotta freaking check in on people, man. You never know what they're capable of.
Oops. Are you okay? You fall down or what? Oh. Ooh. You need a soda or? Hello, Shrew Primers. This is the case of Voldemort's lesser-known 8th Horcrux, William Clyde Gibson. Viewer discretion is advised. This looks like the reject pile at G.I. Joe. William was born in 1957 in Raleigh, North Carolina. According to him, he had a relatively decent childhood. His dad was an alcoholic, but he said he was never abused by his parents. In fact, he was quite spoiled by them. At first, he was getting bullied a lot in school, but then the tables turned when he kind of buffed out, and he became the bully. William ends up dropping out of school altogether. He commits a series of, small petty crimes. He joined the army as a mechanic. He then became addicted to illegal substances. He was imprisoned for a year for stealing a car. By 1991, he ends up committing sexual assault. He also gets involved in a hit and run, and he spends some more time in prison. And then, wow, look at it. It's gorgeous. It's a shame he turned out to be such a shit. Well, by 2002 or so, his life of petty crimes returned to murder. On October 10th, 2002, he met this woman here, 44-year-old Karen Hodella. They met at a bar. Then she ends up going back to, his apartment, and this is in Jeffersonville, Indiana, by the way. According to him, they get into an argument over prescription pills where he ends up punching her in the face, then takes out a pocket knife and repeatedly stabs her. She dies, sadly, and then he just dumps her body just like garbage. William then gets a tattoo. God, he looks like he uses the phrase yeehaw far too often. He got a tattoo of the date he killed her, and then an image of a knife. Karen's body was found a few months later. A few weeks after he committed the murder, he found himself back in jail because he was driving intoxicated. Over the next couple of Over the next couple of years, he ends up in and out of trouble. He steals money from people. He's just in and out of jail, but he's never linked to the murder. On March 24th, 2012, he finds himself in another bar. There, he meets 35-year-old Stephanie Marie Kirk. Much like the first individual he murdered, he brought her back to his apartment where they got into a fight over prescription drugs. He then proceeds to beat her, sexually assault her, and then he broke her neck and killed her, and then tried to bury her in his backyard. On April 18th, 2012, 75-year-old Christine Wittes pays William a visit. She used to be a friend of his mom, who had passed away a few years prior. She actually was always there for William. She helped him. She gave him money. How did he pay her back? Well, on that day that she visited, he sexually assaulted her and strangled her until she was dead. And then he mutilated her body. He cut off one of her breasts. Then he just left her on the floor of his garage. He then stole her car. Her body would be found, and William was then arrested because he was caught driving her car intoxicated. I don't know when exactly this happened, but I hope it hurt. While in custody, he would just basically admit that he killed Karen Hodella. Then he said that he also killed Stephanie Kirk, and he led police to her body. And then obviously he was connected to Christine Wittes, and then he was charged with 3 counts of murder. He tried to claim that an evil took over him, that he was mentally not aware of what he was doing. It's crazy. But the jury didn't buy it. He first goes on trial for the murder of Christine Wittes. He's found guilty and he's sentenced to death. His response to that was, oh well. He said it was no big deal. He then pleads guilty to the murder of Karen Hodella. Then he goes on trial for a 3rd time, this time for Stephanie Marie Kirk's murder. Before that murder, he did this. He had Death Row ×3 tattooed to the back of his head. The courts had to make him grow his hair back out so that the tattoo would be covered before he went to trial again. He was found guilty, and he was sentenced to death again. He, of course, has tried to appeal, even though he's confessed and he pled guilty to some of these, and he's just full on wackadoo. He's been interviewed a lot of times since, and he's now claimed that he's murdered 10 times more people than he was found guilty of. At one point, he said he's committed at least 30 murders across many different states, but nothing has been able to confirm that. William Clyde Gibson still remains on death row, waiting for them to give him the business. God, my fucking mustache.
It's freaking chilling, bro. How he truly just doesn't care about, he doesn't even freaking care about his own freaking life. He showed up when the freaking judge gave him that. He's like, oh well, like what the hell? You murder all those freaking women, bro. Freaking the people, man, especially the last one, like she was a friend of his mom's, who was trying to help him, bro. He still freaking did the unthinkable, bro. Even good people, man, like I said, you're a freaking generous spirit, you're trying to help somebody out in a hard time, bro. And they just repay you with that type of freaking wickedness. It's truly freaking bone chilling case seekers. If you guys made it with me to the end of the video, man, thank you, seekers. You guys are real ones, man. Sticking to the end, man. Seeking the truth. Really appreciate that, man, guys. Like I said, subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button, man, and hit that post notification bell, man. Like I said, guys, I'm trying to kind of toying with the idea of doing daily uploads, man. If you guys want me to do that, hit that like button, man. Hit that subscribe button, man. That's the way you guys can let me know. You guys gonna catch you in the next one, man. I appreciate all the support, seekers. Peace, seekers.